So I thought I'd make a video on items that you could feed your dogs. And some of these I do, some of them I don't, but I thought I'd touch on them anyways. Now, apples, you have to make sure you remove the seeds, but it's good vitamin A and C. So it's kind of like a treat. Only give them little pieces of apples every now and then. Bananas have B9 in them. Beef is good cooked, no seasoning, none of that. Just cook your beef like hamburger if you want to top it off on top of your dog kibble. Blueberries. I do give my dog blueberries. You have vitamin C, K, and A in blueberries. Whenever I get a package of blueberries, both my German Shepherds are sitting there saying, oh boy, it's treat time. And I'll just grab a handful of blueberries and hold them out, and they'll sit back and eat them. Now, if you have a puppy, the first thing they're going to do with blueberries, they're going to play with them. They're not really going to eat them. They're not sure what to do with them. But if you train them as a puppy, they'll love blueberries. Carrots. As you can see in the videos I'm showing you here, both my German Shepherds are eating carrots. Good for vitamin A. The biggest reason I give my dogs carrots, though, is to clean their teeth. You will see a lot of people go in the vet and spend thousands of dollars getting the vet to pull teeth and clean their teeth and everything else. You can save money in the long run doing this. I'll usually grab a carrot, snap it in half, give one dog a carrot, the other dog a carrot. I do that about 3 times a week. Sometimes once a week. It really doesn't matter. Big package of carrots, $5. Cauliflower is good if you have an overweight dog. It's low calories, vitamin C, vitamin K, and B6. Good stuff. So if you don't eat cauliflower, if you don't eat cauliflower, then go pick up one. Dice it up and throw it on top of the kibble. Celery is also low calorie for overweight dogs, but they can choke on celery. So keep that in mind. You should dice that up and make sure they can't choke on it. That is vitamin A, C, and K. Good stuff. Chicken's good for them, unseasoned, of course. The biggest thing that you'll see a lot of people, and I've seen people do this, no bones. I don't care if it's raw. I don't care if it's cooked. People say, oh, if it's raw, it's okay. Look, you want to take a chance on your dog? I'm not taking a chance on mine. Bone splinter, gets into their intestines. Just don't do it. Why bother? Cucumbers are the same. You got to cut them up. They can choke on them. They're actually good for your dog. Eggs, cook them unseasoned. Scramble them, boil them, whatever you want to do. Vitamins A, B, D, and K. They're just as good for you. Fish, cooked and unseasoned. Remove all bone. There is only one fish. You don't have to bother with that, and that's sardines. And sardines are really good for you, too. Green beans are best for overweight dogs, too. They're good for fiber and vitamin C. Mango, it's good for a dog because it has vitamin A, B6, C, and E, but make sure you peel it and remove the pit because it will make them sick. And don't give them a lot. Think of it as a treat, as a once or twice a month deal. Peanuts or peanut butter. I give my dogs peanut butter. And they will gain weight. It can have some health things, but peanut butter has other things like vitamin B, vitamin E. But check the ingredients on the peanut butter because, a lot of your peanut butter has like 10 ingredients. I only get peanut butter that has, 2 or 3 ingredients on them. That's it. Now, pumpkin, that's a superfood. I do give my dogs pumpkin on rare occasions. When my dog gets diarrhea, I will give them pumpkin. Now, pumpkin has vitamin A, C, and E, and other minerals like iron and potassium. It's great for constipation or diarrhea. Like I said, pumpkin, and that's pumpkin uncooked. It's a superfood. If you have a dog, you should always have pumpkin around. Turkey cooked and unseasoned. Remove the skin and bones, and the fat. Make sure there's no fat inside that turkey. Watermelon, vitamins A, C, and B6 are awesome. Is what they are. White rice. Nova gets white rice every day. She gets a small bowl full. And when I got Nova, she had a horrible stomach. It took me a long time, a good 6 months. She would constantly have diarrhea, I mean, pure water. And you'll get that with purebreds because their stomachs are not that great. And I really had to tweak and figure out what did it. Now, when I gave her white rice, it would harden up her stool, but then 4 days later, she would have diarrhea again. And then I started rotating different dog foods. She does eat a more expensive dog food, but since I have the dog food I give her and the white rice, she now has perfect stools, is what she has. Now with Nova, she normally, the reason she has diarrhea is because she was digesting too fast, too quick. The food is flying through her intestines. Not sure why. I spent a lot of money on that stomach. I mean, well over $1,000 between X-rays, vet visits, and everything else. What helped me figure out how to get her what I needed, other than the vet telling me I need this $150 dog food, was actually Chat GPT. I actually turned around and had a conversation, and it took, I don't know, a good half an hour where it would stop saying, go see a vet, go see a vet, asking different questions, and finally determined the rice and the dog food I'm currently giving her is perfect. Now, she also gets all these other treats. She gets blueberries. She gets a little yogurt sometimes, plain yogurt. Um, there are different things she gets. Pumpkin, sometimes hamburger. I'll give it to them. Hamburger's like a once a month deal, is what it is. I try to take a lot of these items that I told you about, and they're basically there just to turn around and give you an idea. I don't give my dogs all this stuff. Okay, blueberries, pumpkin, rice. I've never given them mangoes. I have given them sardines. Um, I use a few of the items. But if you don't want to clean your dog's teeth, then give them a carrot, and they'll make a mess with them, as you can see from Cosmo, my black German Shepherd. But he does eat it all up after. And the more they chew on them, the better. Now, let me tell you, when you go into the dog department, 99.9% of all that stuff is garbage. Milk bones, garbage. 99% of your treats in that area, garbage. Make your own treats. Now, my dogs only have one toy. You'll see people where dogs have 100 toys and a basket and everything else. I have to be very careful with my dogs. Cosmo, my black German Shepherd, if I put anything in his kennel, anything, I put a sleeping bag, I put something in there, he will chew it up into a million little pieces, and I'm sure it's not good if he digests that. When it did get really cold, I did put a thermoglass rubber pad in there, and sure enough, $20 for that pad. He chewed that up into pieces. He just can't put anything in his cage. So he has nothing in his kennel, just a plastic thing he sits on, and that's his fault. I'm not going to have him getting sick. I had one time where a piece of blanket was hanging out of his butt that we had to grab and pull out gently, and I could not believe it because that can get wrapped around his intestines, and then, well, your dog could die. You can end up into a very expensive vet visit. So I'm very particular about their toys. This particular toy here is Nova's, and it's a Jolly Pets rubber ball. And you'll notice now she's had this a long time, but you'll notice how it's got that there. She did finally get a hole in it, and I keep an eye on it. I do need to buy another one of these. I've had this for, I don't know, a couple of years, quite a long time. This is her only toy. That's it. That's all I give her. This one is intense. Cosmo has a very big mouth, and he could hurt you if he decide to take a chunk out of you. But this is his toy. So when the dogs are eating, they do not eat together. I have them separated. One's in the kennel while the other one eats. The other one's in the other kennel. I switch them back and forth. They do come out every day for 4 hours, sometimes more, to play, and they go crazy on each other. But this is Cosmo's toy, and he's had this for well over 5 or 6 years, and he's still taking a beating. Getting toys for German Shepherds is very difficult. I'll have you know, very difficult. And they can go through them very quickly because of their strong jaws. The other thing I use on a constant basis is this cheap China brush. I like it because of the teeth. I've had this for years. When the dogs start shedding, I de-shed them like this. This gets the undercoat. And it's really easy to grab this and throw the hair out on the ground while I'm actually combing them out. And that's pretty much it. So between healthy treats, a comb, and a toy each, this is what my dogs have. Now my dogs go for walks. They go for runs on long leashes. It is more important to them to go for a walk than it is to have some fancy little toy. Nova does have a little thing in her cage where she lays on. She doesn't seem to chew a little bit, not much. And she is the female. She is smaller, and she's just a little bit more affectionate than what Cosmo is. So, if you're curious about what you can give your dog, these are some of the things I do. Um, when you're looking around the kitchen, you got some extra eggs, or your dog's got diarrhea, mix it with some pumpkin and rice. Really pay attention to having that healthy dog with healthy stools, and that is very important for a happy dog. It is more important than a toy. And stay away from 99% of the stuff in the puppy aisles, doggy aisles. I'm telling you, it's all garbage. It's going to do nothing but kill your dog. Pig ears, leather things, it's all processed stuff. Do not buy what's there. Give them real food. Catch you guys on the next one.